Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the last open studio session live that we're doing based on the Darwin Festival. We were going to do this at 10 o'clock this morning, but we couldn't get the tech to work, but we're doing it now. A guy that I met from the very beginning when I first started getting involved with the Darwin Festival was Tim Dawes. We've worked together on every Darwin Festival since I got involved, so I thought I'd bring him on the show and we can have a generalised chat about what goes on with the Darwin Festival and what's important. So here he is, Mr. Tim Dawes. Thank you very much for joining me, Tim.
Hello, Al. How are you doing?
Good, yeah. It's been a good morning. I've learned a lot. I've had some great conversations. Where does the Darwin Festival start for you, Tim? Where do you step in with this?
It starts sometime several months ago. I got involved initially because when I come from Shropshire originally, and I moved back to Shropshire about just over 3.5 years ago, and I live in Abbey Foregate, and I'm a great festival enthusiast. I used to run poetry festivals and music festivals and all sorts of things. And it kind of, I went to all the things that I could find. And I went to the Darwin Festival and really thought it was an excellent idea, really good thing. The first year that I wasn't involved in the organisation, and I felt there wasn't quite enough science in it. So the second year, I sort of volunteered for the committee, and I put more science things involved. We had science in the pub and that sort of stuff going on, and that went pretty well. I have to say, I am not a scientist. I am definitely not a scientist. But some of my best friends are scientists. And my daughter is about to marry one, so there you go. So I have a lay interest in these things, and I can just about understand most of the things that I read in New Scientist, but that's as far as it goes. I do have an O level in chemistry, mate. So
we did an interview when I first got involved with it, when the biscuit first started. Me and you, we did it. I came to yours. We did an interview in your kitchen, a very short one, and then I got involved with what you guys were doing. That was with the Sci-Bar things that you were putting together. Yeah. And you do know some clever friends. You do have some very clever friends, and I came along to the Sci-Bars that you were put together, and they were fantastic. It was an amazing concept of introducing science into a bar while people are sitting around having a drink, rather than having karaoke or whatever it is that you do at bars, live music. Just guy doing a lecture on science, and it was just a real great concept, and it seemed to really take off.
Yeah, well, they went very well. Yeah. Of course, we can't do that this year, so
no.
Shame. I mean, by all means, you can look at our webinars and pour yourself a small beer or something. That's fine. But I guess particularly Sunday night with a quiz. So there's a science quiz which I'm organising on Sunday night. It is a family, and it's a relatively short thing. It should be all over in an hour. But it's not the same. But we've embraced the difference, if you know what I mean. And it does mean that doing things on Zoom, it's easier to get people here because they don't have to get on the train. We don't have to put them up for a night, etc., etc. And so, we've got people lecturing who are based in the States, and that's really good. And the lecture from the States is the Grants, Dr. and Dr. Grants, who are a married couple who've been studying the finches in the Galapagos Islands, which is kind of, looking back on and further investigating the work that Darwin did 150 years ago. And that's fascinating. And they are the experts on the Galapagos finches, worldwide recognized. So and we probably, we wouldn't have got them over to Shrewsbury in the normal course of events, and they're zooming from Princetown in the eastern seaboard of the States. That seems to work, reasonably well. I think the only thing that worries me is that people are getting a bit zoomed out, aren't they? I don't know about
yeah, it's a bit. It is one of those things where you when you're working from home, You're on Zoom, you're talking on Zoom, you're meeting on Zoom, you're now watching things on Zoom. People are probably watching this thinking this looks like Zoom. It is everywhere at the moment. But what can,
It's not Zoom. All
it's
right,
not
it's
so.
not Zoom.
It's StreamYard. It's StreamYard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a bit frustrating, but at the same time, you're right. People can't access this internationally, and we were speaking to John King just, and he very rightly said that this is a great opportunity for not just this festival, but for Shrewsbury, because we can sit there and talk about this young Charles Darwin that we like to talk about, the young thinker, the things that inspired him are on our doorstep, and you're rightly so that we need to inject a bit of science into this as well. Because there were probably young people. I mean, the last Sci-Bar we went to, last year's one at the Alb, which was fantastic, by the way. There was a wide array of people of all ages enjoying that, and people are watching this now. I'm telling you now, that room was full. Me and Shane were stood at the back. There was no chairs for us, and that's how popular this is. So it's the Sci-Bar thing. You're right on the money with that, by the way. Right on the money with it.
Well, there wasn't any money involved, unfortunately.
No, I mean, like, as a phrase, you were like, you hit the nail on the head. That's what I was trying to do.
The only people who make money out of it are publicans, and they will certainly need our money when we come back. I don't know about you, but I haven't been in a pub now for a lawful long time, and it doesn't feel right somehow. I'm an Englishman. I'm entitled to go into a public house, surely, but obviously I can't at the moment. And I even when the lockdown finished, because of my age and infirmity and stuff, I haven't been into a pub for a long time, or a football match, or a Sci-Bar. So there you go. So it is a great opportunity. I mean, the festival is used to promote Shrewsbury. And we use it as it's part, in as much as it is funded, which is very little at all. It's funded by the Business Improvement District bid, and that's because it's a very important flagship for the town. It's not just that Darwin was born here; it's just what Darwin represents. It's the best of British science, innovation, great new thinking, etc., etc. And goodness me, isn't that important now? When we look at what's happening in the world, and the strength of our Indigenous life sciences community is so important to us, and hopefully we'll develop on from there. I mean, I think the first person I had a lecture was an old friend of mine. This was 3 years ago or whatever. Mark Carver, who was an ex-chief scientific officer from Fuji Pharma, who are one of the companies that are manufacturing vaccine now up in Stockton-on-Tees. And it is important to look at. We do have a lecture, by the way, from someone from Imperial College on how the virus evolves, and he's somebody who has been involved in tracking the evolution of the dreaded, I'm not even going to use the C word, but that virus thing that we all hate. So that's probably worth one of the things you can watch. All the lectures are free, with the exception of the one that's run by our friends from the Wildlife Trust, and they charge a very small fee because they're desperate for money. Basically, I think it's £2, £3 or something a shot. So it's not very much. We've got loads of people booked on all of them, but there are still places. And
yes,
wherever you live, if you're watching this because you're a Shrewsbury interested person in the States or Australia, you can Zoom. Okay, in Australia, you may have to get up in the middle of the night. In the States, not too bad because they start in the evening, 7:00. So it's sort of early afternoon in the States. And if you're fed up of daytime television, this I think you'll find a bit more stimulating.
Well, this is the thing, right? Because we're doing even this now, right? You can we can throw it up on the big screen. We're streaming on a very young, very underused YouTube channel. But if you wanted to go over there, so I've only got about 15 subscribers, but there is an opportunity there. If you wanted to watch this on your TV whilst you're drinking your coffee or enjoying a bit of lunch right now, you can do that. That's the advances of technology, and we could definitely promote Shrewsbury with all these great events I was just showing you on the website there. You can probably enjoy them on a big TV, which is fantastic, and that's what I think we've been trying to promote all day today with these shows, is that we're talking about things like the flax mill, the precursor to the modern day skyscraper. That's from Shrewsbury. You can learn all about that. Sharon from the Wildlife Trust is going to tell you about her experiences and her joy of Darwin's garden, and there's just so much there we could learn about, and that's what I think gripped me with the Darwin Festival. I've learned so much. I've never claimed to be a scientist or a massive. I do like my history, but I'm not a history buff. But I've learned so much. We last time we met properly, I think, was at the talk at Bear Steps for Bibbs Cameron did for the Darwin family. Were you at that one, or was it the opener? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was the opener I was at the Civic Society. Yeah.
But these events are just great to go to, meet new people and learn. It's a great tradition. And this, we were talking to John, who said he started this, 2003. It's still a young festival. This is something that is still evolving. To use that. So would you, the quiz this year that you're doing, what's the thought process behind that? Just keep things going for now until the world opens, or is there a lot of thought process that actually gone into this event?
Well, I don't suppose anybody's done an online quiz in the last 12 months. So, it's very it must be the first online quiz that's ever been thought of. So there you go. I mean, it's just a bit of fun, really. The questions are, I prepared most of the questions, but they've been QA'd by a proper scientist. They're designed to be answerable by somebody with a lay interest or whatever, And they also, there aren't that many questions. I think there's 6 rounds of 5 questions each, so 30 questions in all. And they get harder as you go in for each round. So question 1 is, a sort of older primary school kid, and question 9 is question 5 in each round would be much more. I couldn't answer some of those. So it's hopefully it'll test you a little bit. And it's a non-competitive thing. There are no prizes. We did think about prizes. We talked about possibly offering a prize. And then we thought, well, what happens if someone from out of Mongolia wins? And how do we make sure they've actually scored what they said they're going to do? So in the end, it was just too complicated.
I like the idea of people setting up their own prizes and their own forfeits. So the family sat around watching this. It's by the way, it's on Sunday, the 14th, Valentine's Day, which is 7:30 p.m. If you wanted to sit down and watch it as a family, you could all set up prizes and forfeits, whoever does the best or does the worst.
That's a great idea. Yeah. Always you can have a group of friends all watching it together, separately or whatever, and competing amongst yourselves. That's not a problem. It is Valentine's Day, but I think of it as the antidote to Valentine's Day.
The antidote.
There we go.
Well, do you know what? We were talking about recently. I think it was Dave Cortino I was speaking to on USOC actually, and we were talking about the other show that I do, and we were talking about how there's a lot more people singly living at the moment. There's not as many people in relationships and couples. There's a lot of people living on their own, and so this is a great opportunity to, do something fun. Be a part of that. So what do we do when the world opens again? With the Darwin Festival, do we take lessons from what we've achieved, what we're going to be achieving, doing things virtually? Do we make it a hybrid, sort of online, some physical events. What do we do next year when the world opens?
Well, I think we need to have some physical events. I mean, I think
Yeah.
next year, if we are completely open, we'll all want to get together and share and talk and so on. And I think the majority of events will probably go back to that kind of format. However, we need to take the opportunity of using these facilities as well. As I say, there are people across the world and so on. It's not just online things as well. Films that we've put on there are quite powerful. The Shrewsbury Museum Service has used the opportunity to showcase its collection, its natural history collection, a lot of which you wouldn't ordinarily see because it's behind closed doors, as it were, and you certainly can't see it at the moment. So that's a real opportunity to show what we've got, and all the lectures are being recorded and will be available as an archive. So we're building up this archive of films and lectures and so on and so forth that will hopefully encourage new people to be involved. So, somebody's going to come across this thing on YouTube accidentally in sort of 6 months' time and think, oh, that's interesting. And they might be in, I don't know, Papua New Guinea or somewhere. And hopefully will then decide that they can, I wonder what's happening next year in the festival. Come and have a look. Yeah. Some things will be accessible to them. Because I think once you've done this, you have to keep that accessibility going. Yeah.
Absolutely. What are you looking forward to the most? Which events are you looking forward to this year?
I like I'm quite into astrophysics, so the things that go bang in the night, and I know the guy from Liverpool Moores University who does that is very easy to understand, and very accessible, and so the latest things about supernovas and black holes and stuff is that's always great, isn't it? So I'm looking forward to that. But I think I'm certainly going to go to all the lectures, and after that, I mean, like what happened last year and the year before, I get a sort of, if I can use a trendy word, an inoculation of science. So I get a whole burst of science, and I come away with all sorts of buzzing ideas and knowledge floating about after that extended period. So, there'd be 6 lectures and 1 or 2 other bits and pieces of a few films. And I think that's good for us to get that intense experience. And, you can do, because they're not long, they're not 3 hours, You're talking about lectures are typically 25 minutes followed by 15 minutes of question and answers. You can ask questions, by the way. It's in a controlled environment, but you'll be able to ask.
Yes, questions. You can. I always enjoy used to enjoy watching, listening to, should I say, Infinite Monkey Cage or QI or something where you learn something. I mean, there's some people that just sit and watch nature programs and learn things. There's so much out there at the moment. Where it's not even a challenge. It's very easy just to sit and enjoy these things. And this is what we've got over the next week. We've got a huge collection of things we just sit and enjoy. And a lot, like you said, they're free, mostly free. So it's really important to take advantage of this. I'm looking forward to sampling many of these. I think yours is the only one that I can't really take part in because of work. I'm going to work, so I'm really gutted about that. The quiz. I think I probably wouldn't have done very well with it, but I could have had a go nonetheless.
But I can send it you if you want to do it in the quiet of your home. Just send me an email, and I'll email it to you afterwards, and you can
absolutely
do it yourself independently.
The best thing I've loved about these Darwin festivals is the friends I've made, the people that I have met along the way. Not just, there's people that have put things on, there's people I've met at events, and, you and Fiona and Marianne and or John King. I mean, we put this together on the strength of a conversation we had on the back of his tour. Like, we were just walking and talking to the next talking point, and we had this amazing conversation. And on the back of that, I've made a connection there. And I think that's really important, isn't it? The people work well together in Shrewsbury, and this I think this festival really does illustrate that. It illustrates connections.
Yeah, it's very much a voluntary effort. even for those people who professionally work for organisations like BID and the Wildlife Trust and so on. But it's something that people give of their time, really as part of the commitment for the town. And in normal, I mean, it's not organisations like Shrewsbury School, the Unitarian Church, the Civic Society, the museum. All these, these are bedrocks of Shrewsbury, but it's not just about the establishment of Shrewsbury. It's like, the ordinary people who get involved, and I think what we'd really like is next year get, I mean, everybody says this, but because young people have got lots of other interests, but to get some more young people involved would be good. Actually, some of the people are quite young now anyway on the committee. I think I am now the oldest person on the committee by some distance, but that's good.
I mean, I think you're right though, injecting a bit of youth into this because, I mean, we always wanted to do something live anyway. We wanted to, I mean, James Hitchens great with the album. There's loads of people that have got venues out there that we could have used if it wasn't for this pandemic. But yeah, trying to jazz things up a bit. I think you could add a bit of comedy and a bit of science together and make that sort of fusion. That Infinite Monkey Cage recipe, I think, really works. It really does work, and I think people would react well to that.
Yeah, we have been. I mean, we have been trying to get a science stand-up thing going for some time. It hasn't quite worked yet, but watch this space. I think that would be awesome, and do it in somewhere like, I don't know, one of the stand-up venues, like maybe the what do you call it? What's the hotel on the World Cup that does stand-up?
The
Henry the Fifth or whatever, Henry the Fourth or whatever.
The
it
Tudor
is.
House.
Yeah.
Tudor House.
Tudor House. Got it. Yeah.
Hey, we got there. Woo.
Yeah. So we haven't done anything there yet. So I mean, it's nice to do new venues and so on. I mean, there is a bit of an issue in Shrewsbury. There aren't enough venues, really. There aren't a lot of venues for this kind of thing. It's a bit of a struggle.
Not enough space. You have to go up. You can't go out.
Yeah,
go up.
Yeah, they can go up. And then you get problems about, disabled access. Because if you're doing these public things, you really want to have good access for everyone. And so many of the places here are struggling with that, but not all of them. So it's good.
There's that place underneath Doe and Oil, isn't it? They've got like enough space for like 20 people or 10 people or something, where they do little events there.
Yeah, it's a lovely spot. Yeah. But I mean, there are other places that do. I mean, a lot of them have lifts and so on. So like
my idea was when the bid came to me, like, Darwin Festival. I was like, oh my god, is it Darwin Festival time already? Like, it was a few weeks ago, obviously, and I was like, oh my god, so it's going to be a virtual event. What can we do? And this is what I tend to do, right? I tend to procrastinate, come up with these amazing ideas that are too elaborate, many working parts, and I usually struggle. Like what we're doing today was just a crazy idea that I put together in a couple of weeks, and it's like the planning I didn't have much time to organise it. But what I was going to do is I was going to try and get interviews with people from universities from around the world and talk about what Darwin means to them, because I thought that would have been great to talk about the Shrewsbury as an epicentre for what happened across the world. I thought that would be great, but no one got back to me. So maybe next year. Next year.
You have to. I'll give you some hint on how to approach the universities or whatever.
Well, maybe Tim. Maybe next year we get our heads together and we do this together.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I mean, a lot of the contacts we've had also, Shrewsbury School have given us a lot of contacts. And that's been really good. So and they go into the early schools, the primary schools, and so on and so forth, and that's they have contacts there. So we're beginning to get better at contacts in the education sector as well, which is good. Al, I'm going to have to go in a minute. So
well, this was meant to be a very short little snippet and a little chat with you, Tim. But thank you very much for your hard work for the Darwin Festival for the last couple of years. And
thank you for all your technical support and your enthusiasm, which is unbounded and very well received. And it's great to talk to you, Al.
Oh, brilliant. Well, guys, that's what this was meant to be. A little say hello to Tim to make up for the show not happening this morning. But this has been really good. Make sure you go to originalshrewsbury.co.uk and check out everything that's going on with the Darwin Festival. Honestly, if you're in America, if you're in Shrewsbury, anywhere in the world, you can enjoy what's going on there. Also, I'd like for you to check out our website, which is the shrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk. It's powered by our friends at Web Orchard. All of our audio is available there once I catch up. It usually is. And you can find out everything that's going on. Tim, thank you so much for joining me today to talk about this. And I look forward to hearing off you when this is all over and see how it all went for you when we catch up.
Been a pleasure. Thank you, Al. Cheers.
Well, brilliant, guys. We will catch you next time on the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Peace out.